Hi, my name's Jonathan Hicks. I'm back at the Dice Cup, and this evening I'm joined by
Noah.
Steve. Alan. And we've just finished playing Arcadia Quest, which is a kind of dungeon crawl, except you're competing against each other. So you get a team of heroes. So I was the 3 orange guys in this case, and you sort of equip them with various starting equipment at the beginning of the game. So you might have slingshots, like a ranged weapon, or you can have melee weapons. This tells you how much dice they're going to roll, and you're kind of running around the dungeon trying to complete various missions. Now you get a selection of missions each time. So in this case we had to try and kill a hammer beastman. You can see there's one of them over there. Incidentally, these are like portals, so when you're on this space you can move to another space with a matching coloured portal. Also you had to move these sort of quest objective tokens. You have to carry these to the portal. So you get a couple of general quests like that. But every time you play, whatever scenario you're doing, you also have quests to kill the other players, but only once. So I was, as I say, orange in this case. If I managed to, which I did in this game, kill blue, you take one of your tokens and put them on here, and then you're going to get money, effectively, which you use to upgrade your equipment at the end of every scenario. So you kind of want to complete these quests to get money, but once a certain number of quests have been completed, that also triggers the end of the game. But the nice thing is that once I've killed blue, there's no incentive for me to kill blue again. I'm only going to get the coin the first time I do it. So just to give you a brief idea in terms of how combat works, it's a very light game on the whole. If I pick one of my heroes to activate, when it's your turn, you kind of move first, or I might move here, and then you attack. So I could use my slingshot maybe to shoot at this little goblin archer. So the slingshot, you see, rolls 2 dice. So you roll the dice, and because it's a ranged weapon, I'm looking for the ranged symbol, which is the bow here. So that'd be 1 hit. Another nice thing about this is if you roll the critical hit, then that counts as a hit, but you also then get to roll another dice. So I rolled another dice, and that was a miss. But if I got another critical, then I could roll another dice. So potentially, even with only a couple of dice, you can actually get a lot of hits. And then you're comparing the hits against the stats. You've got different stat cards for different monsters. So in this case, you need 1 hit to kill the Goblin Archer. They're fairly weedy. But if you only get 1 hit, he will hit back. If you get 2 hits, it's kind of insta-kill and he doesn't get to fight back. But if he fights back, like in this case, he would roll 2 dice as well. And again, he's looking for the archery symbols. And they might do wounds to your character. You can see Spike is already wounded here. If one of your characters dies, it's not too painful. They kind of come off the map, and you can spend an action to kind of rest, and they just respawn in the starting area. The other thing I should mention, though, is every time you've used one of your weapons, you put one of these as sort of exhausted tokens on, and I can't use this again until I rest. So as you go through the game, you're going to be using your various heroes, running around, fighting, and you can put these tokens on, and at some point you're going to want to rest, which removes all of the tokens, so you can use all your various different weapons for your heroes, and then any heroes that died respawn. And you keep running around trying to complete the missions, getting as many coins as you can. There's like a campaign system that comes with it as well that I should mention, which is that after you've completed one of the missions, you spend all your accumulated money to upgrade your equipment. So you kind of draft, in fact I've got some here I think, these are sort of better equipment. You can see this particular smash face hammer is rolling 4 dice when it attacks, rather than say 2 for the starting equipment. So it does upgrade quite nicely, and you can kind of go through the campaign getting better equipment. I should say also that there are various special abilities each of your characters has, which is quite nice. And it's just an adventure, I guess. What do we think?
So I really loved the game because because you don't have when you attack a character, you're not gonna need to attack it more than once. So you're trying to attack multiple people and spread them out across the entire board instead of just focusing on one of the characters. Also, the game kind of grasps you into it because you'll draft the first thing after you've got some coins from the first scenario, but then you immediately want to spend the coins to get more stuff, and then you can build up your characters, and just generally the entire game is really fun to play.
Okay, Steve?
Yeah, it's really good. The miniatures are very nice. It's takes an hour to play one game, some are a bit quicker, some are a bit longer than that. You can find yourself rolling 3 dice and hitting someone 7 times by all the critical rerolls that Alan was able to get when he was fighting for the monsters on the monsters' behalf and stuff like that. It's very nice. Like Noah said, you only need to kill each person once, and people know you have to kill them. so they're not aggrieved. Some games where you can attack other players, it's more like a vindictive thing. In this, it's one of the quests. In fact, you can't actually end the mission if no one kills anyone else, because you need to complete 3 of the 5 available quests to you, and of those 5, 3 of them are kill one of the other factions. So yeah, I really like it.
Alan?
I think it's a great game. It's very enjoyable. I do like the mechanics of the curse cards, how the different curse cards affect how you play the rest of the game.
Sorry, I should just perhaps explain that. When your character dies, you stick one of these skull tokens on, and it means in the next game you kind of have to draw one of these curse cards, which might be nothing like this one, but there are some of them which will give you some kind of negative sort of, so this person will be dazed and confused, which would last for the next kind of scenario that you play. So there's some kind of small consequence to dying.
I do like also the fact that when you fill the board up over here, you roll a dice to see where the monsters respawn. It gives a nice randomised effect of where monsters spawn and how they respawn during the game. I do like the way you build your equipment up, and certain characters have special abilities, like for example this one here. She's got the bonus ability that when she rolls a special attack dice like that, she gets an extra attack on there, so instead of getting 1 she gets 2 for that one. So I do like how each character has got their own special abilities, and depends on how you work your team together to see how well it works. I think it's a really good game. I enjoy it.
Rating out of 10?
I'd say about a 9 for this one.
Wow, okay. Steve?
8 out of 10.
No?
9.5.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's fairly light. There's not a huge amount of strategy, but you do need to think a little bit about, if I go here, what is this other person likely to do? Some of the monsters will fight back. If you attack them at range, they might not be able to attack back unless they are ranged. So there's certainly stuff to think about. But it's just fun. It's just a light adventure game. You roll a few dice. The exploding dice, as they're called, when you roll the critical, you get to roll another one and then potentially another one, is great. Because it means even if you're just rolling 1 dice, you're always in with a chance. You might get enough hits to kill the monster you need. There are some defense dice as well, which you can roll when they're attacking you, which does a similar thing. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Very well streamlined, I think, in terms of the playing time. It doesn't feel slow at all, plays really well. Really enjoyed it. I'd be on an 8 out of 10. Alright, thanks for watching. That was Arcadia Quest.